Learn English through story. The Benevolent Merchant and the Skeptical Village. In the bustling town of Dunsford, nestled between rolling hills and fertile valleys, there lived a wealthy merchant named Edwin. Edwin was known for his shrewd business acumen and remarkable generosity. His trade caravans brought exotic goods from distant lands, and he was beloved by his customers and respected by his peers. Despite his success, Edwin always found time to help those in need, and his philanthropy was renowned throughout the region. One day, Edwin decided to expand his business and purchased a large estate in a nearby village called Mossbrook. Mossbrook was a quaint village, self-sufficient and serene, but its residents were known for being wary of outsiders. The villagers had faced many hardships over the years and had grown skeptical of those who came from the outside, believing that strangers often brought more trouble than good. When Edwin arrived in Mossbrook with his entourage, he was met with cautious glances and hushed whispers. Unfazed by the cold reception, Edwin went about setting up his new home and business. He had grand plans for the estate and wanted to transform it into a thriving trade hub that would benefit both his business and the village. To win the trust of the villagers, Edwin began by hiring local workers to renovate the estate. He paid them generously and treated them with kindness and respect. Despite this, the villagers remained skeptical, convinced that Edwin had ulterior motives. One evening, Edwin was walking through the village market when he overheard a group of villagers discussing the recent drought that had devastated their crops. The villagers were worried about the upcoming winter and how they would feed their families. Edwin decided to help. He used his vast network of contacts to procure large quantities of grain and other essential supplies, which he then distributed freely among the villagers. At first, the villagers were hesitant to accept Edwin's help, suspecting that he might expect something in return later. However, as the weeks passed and Edwin continued to provide assistance without asking for anything, their suspicion began to wane. Gradually, they started to see Edwin not as an opportunistic merchant but as a benevolent benefactor. One day, a severe storm hit Mossbrook, causing widespread damage. Many homes were destroyed, and the villagers were in despair. Edwin immediately sprang into action, using his resources to organize a relief effort. He provided materials for rebuilding homes and offered temporary shelter to those who had been displaced. He even rolled up his sleeves and joined in the reconstruction efforts, working side by side with the villagers. Seeing Edwin's dedication and selflessness, the villagers' hearts began to soften. They realized that Edwin genuinely cared for their well-being and was not motivated by greed or self-interest. Gradually, the barriers of distrust began to crumble, and Edwin was welcomed into the community as one of their own. Months passed, and the village of Mossbrook flourished under Edwin's influence. The once skeptical villagers now spoke of him with admiration and gratitude. Edwin's estate became a bustling center of trade, bringing prosperity to the entire region. The villagers, who had once been wary of outsiders, now embraced the opportunities that came with their newfound connections. One day, an old villager named Harold approached Edwin. Harold was known for his wisdom and had been one of the most vocal critics when Edwin first arrived. With a smile, Harold said, "Edwin, you have shown us what it means to be truly generous. You have given us more than just material aid. You have given us hope and taught us the value of trust. We were wrong to doubt you." Edwin replied, "Harold, trust is a precious thing, and I understand why you were cautious. It is only through our actions that we can prove our intentions. I am grateful that you have accepted me and allowed me to be a part of this wonderful community." As the years went by, Edwin's bond with the villagers grew stronger. He continued to support the village in every way he could, and the villagers, in turn, helped his business thrive. The mutual trust and respect between Edwin and the villagers created a sense of harmony and prosperity that benefited everyone. One summer, a group of traveling merchants visited Moss Brook. They had heard tales of the prosperous village and the benevolent merchant who had made it all possible. Intrigued, they sought out Edwin to learn his secret to success. Edwin welcomed the merchants and shared his story. He explained how trust and generosity had been the cornerstones of his approach. True success, he said, comes not from exploiting others but from uplifting them. When we help others succeed, we create a network of support that benefits everyone. The traveling merchants were inspired by Edwin's philosophy and decided to adopt a similar approach in their own endeavors. They returned to their respective towns and began fostering trust and generosity in their communities. Over time, these towns also began to flourish, and the influence of Edwin's benevolent philosophy spread far and wide. Back in Moss Brook, life continued to thrive. Edwin, now older but still vigorous, often reflected on his journey and the lessons he had learned. He knew that the true measure of a person's worth was not in their wealth or power but in their ability to make a positive impact on the lives of others. One day, as Edwin was walking through the village, he noticed a young boy struggling to carry a heavy load of firewood. Edwin approached the boy and offered to help. As they walked together, the boy asked, "Why do you always help others, Mr. Edwin?" Edwin smiled and replied, "Because when we help others, we build a better world for everyone." Kindness and generosity are like seeds. When we plant them, they grow and spread, creating a garden of goodwill and trust. The boy nodded, understanding the wisdom in Edwin's words. And so, the legacy of the benevolent merchant continued, inspiring future generations to value trust, generosity, and the power of positive actions. In the end, the village of Moss Brook stood as a testament to the transformative power of kindness and trust. Edwin's story became a cherished part of the village's history, reminding everyone that true prosperity is achieved not through selfishness but through the selfless acts of lifting others and fostering a community where everyone can thrive. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.